And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed. To you it shall be for food. Genesis 1:29. Man did eat angels' food. He sent them meat to the full. Psalm 78:25. Everyday Manna with Lisa.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Everyday Manna. We have moved outside because it's grilling season, and so today we're going to be making a summertime treat. We're going to make grilled beef kebabs with lots of different kinds of grilled vegetables with it. We're going to char some French bread on the grill and just have that along with our kebabs, and we're going to serve them over one of my favorite little Mediterranean type pasta dishes, and that's just couscous. Maybe you've never cooked it, but it's the perfect summer pasta dish because it's easy, it's quick, and you can do it right here on the grill. So let's get started. We're going to get our marinade ready to go. I bought just some beef. You could get some sirloin. You could use the New York strip or the top sirloin. You could use porterhouse. You could use whatever kind of steak that you like. And what I've already done is I've already cubed my beef. I went ahead and bought it, and I've already got it cut up into cubes, into about 1-inch cubes, and it's getting ready. We're going to make the marinade and then just put the beef in the marinade. So that's already done. Our marinade, we're going to start with about, these are not exact ingredients. You can put however much you want. About, I would say, 1/3 cup of extra virgin olive oil. We want to add about a teaspoon of kosher salt. We're going to put some grill seasoning in there, about a tablespoon or so of your grill seasoning. It has got garlic, and it's got lots of black pepper and coriander and just different flavors in there. I love grill seasoning. And 99% of the time when I'm putting something on the grill, I will use and I like the steak grill seasoning, and I use it on chicken too. I get the steak seasoning, grill seasoning that you can buy in any grocery store out there, and I just add it to just about everything that I put on the grill. We want to put about a tablespoon or so of dried rosemary, and because it's dried, I want to take it in my hand and just kind of crush it a little bit, just to kind of release the oils in the dried spices. That's a good thing to do with any dried herb, is to take it and just kind of crush it a little bit. That releases some of the oils in there. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of thyme, just dried thyme. You could use the fresh herbs, but on the grill, the fresh herbs tend to burn, and so that's why I'm not using it. I'm going to add about 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder because my blend of grill seasoning that I use has got the granulated garlic in it. A couple of tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. We're just going to add about 2 tablespoons. And like I said, it's not exact science here. Just add a little bit of each ingredient, and you'll be good to go with that. About 1/3 cup of soy sauce. Just going to add all that in there. And then some honey. I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons or so of honey. Just adds a little bit of sweetness to it, and it's yummy. To that, I want to add I'm going to set that to the side. I always marinate in a Ziploc baggie because that's one less dish that you have to wash. And you can turn it and just change it however, often that you want to do. To that, I'm going to add just 1 green onion. I've got my grill preheating to high because you want it to be on high heat. We're going to do the beef kebabs. We're going to add some mushrooms to the kebabs, and then we're going to grill our vegetables separate. Just slice up your green onion, kind of go through it with your knife just to chop it a little finer. We're going to add that to our marinade. Add a little bit of the fresh onion flavor. And I've got 1 lemon, and I'm going to zest the lemon and add the juice of the lemon to it. And that's it. You could customize this blend. Maybe you've got other herbs and spices that you want to use. You could add, any of the other kind of spices that you like. You need an acid and you need an oil. Those are the 2 main ingredients in a marinade, and then from there on, it's up to you, whatever you like. I'm going to open my bag here, and I'm going to zest my lemon just right over my bag. Just going to take the yellow part. Remember never to get down to the white. Keep your lemon moving, or your citrus, whatever you're zesting. In this case, it's a lemon, because that white part is kind of bitter. The outside of the lemon or the lime or the orange or whatever citrus that you're using, the outside actually has got as much or more flavor than the juice inside, because the essential oils are all located in the skin. And so you need to just wash it, and let's tap that down in there and make sure we get all that off the back. The oils have got the flavor in them, you know, just like the inside does, only actually I think it has a little more flavor. Let's just hold this over our bag, and we're going to juice our lemon for our acid in our marinade. The vinegar and the lemon both are our acids in our marinade, and what the acid will do is tenderize your meat product. Now, what I'm using today is very lean and tender anyway, but it will just help to make it even more tender and more mouth-watering. Now, we're going to take our beef, and let's mix this up real good, just with your hands, just swish it together. We're going to take our beef, and we're just going to add it right down into the marinade, into the bag. An important tip for when you're grilling steak, especially beef especially, but really any kind of meat, let it set. Don't take just straight cold meat out of the refrigerator and stick it on a grill, or for that matter inside when you're cooking. Let it kind of sit out for like 15 minutes or so. It comes to room temperature a little more, takes the cold off of it, it cooks quicker, and it gets that caramelization a little better than if it's just straight cold. It tends to steam more than grill if it's cold. So we're just going to see what I'm doing. The beauty of having the bag. See? Just turn it as often as you want. I'm just going to set it right here inside this little bowl that I had the beef in. And we're going to get to work on our vegetables while this just marinates for just a few minutes. Now our beef is just going to marinate for just a few minutes, so we're going to get busy chopping our vegetables. Now you can do skewers of your beef with your vegetables, or you can do the vegetables separately. Most of the time I like to do my vegetables separate, because the beef, sometimes it depends on how well done you like your meat. I like mine kind of medium to medium well, but the vegetables will become overcooked by the time the beef is done. So I like to do my vegetables differently. Now you can do these on a skewer if you want, or I have just a basket. Just let me show you this. This is just a grill basket that is specifically designed for your grill, and you can put your vegetables in. The holes are big enough to let the flames come through, the heat come through, but not so big that the vegetables fall through. So I love these little grill baskets, and you can pick them up anywhere, any store. Any of your big stores will sell those, any place you can get them. So let's get busy on our vegetables. I've got some zucchini. This is completely customizable. You use what you like. And this is the summertime, so you could use, any kind of thing. Go to your local farmer's market. We have a wonderful one here locally, and you can get some beautiful produce. Anything that you like, you can grill. You can do eggplant, you can do zucchini, you can do corn, you can do onions, you can do yellow squash, you can do asparagus, you can do peppers, you can do whatever you like. You can add carrots. You choose the vegetables that you like. Today I'm doing zucchini, yellow squash, red onions, red peppers, and green onions. I'll be right back. I got to take a quick break. I'm just going to chop up some more vegetables. When we come back, we're going to go to the grill. I'll be right back with you in just a minute. Hey, and welcome back. Now we're just chopping our zucchini, and again I'm going to use a Ziploc bag to marinate my vegetables in, because it's just easy cleanup. So as I chop, I'm going to go ahead and get them out of my way and put them in the bag. Let's do a yellow pepper here. Or not a yellow pepper. I called that a yellow pepper. It's a yellow squash. This one's kind of a little bit on the fatter side, so I'm going to cut him in half and do little moon shapes. You want your pieces to be substantial. You don't want to have little teeny tiny pieces like that one because that's just going to fall through the grates and burn. But just, so cut them into, you know, about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch slices on your squash, because squash cooks very quickly. The harder the vegetable, the longer it takes to cook, so the thinner you will want to slice it. These are rather delicate, they cook quick, so we'll go with a little thicker slice on them. Red pepper, which is my favorite pepper, but if you don't have a red pepper, you could use a green pepper. That would be delicious too. I've done it with all of them. Just cut it in half, take out the seeds and the membrane and slice it. I'm going to do these. I'm going to cut it in half like that, and then I'm just going to slice it like this. Remember to always cut your peppers from the inside out. It's easier. Plus, I'll show you the difference here. See how easy my knife just goes through there? But if you turn it over, you see how much harder it is to get through? It's just easier to cut your peppers from the inside out. Didn't know if you knew that or not, but there's a little hint for you. I'm a big vegetable eater, and I love grilled vegetables. It brings out just different flavors. It caramelizes the peppers and the zucchini and the onions, and it's just yummy. We're going to just do a simple marinade with these. Let's do a red onion. You could use, you know, a Vidalia onion or just a regular onion if you want. I just like the looks of the red onion. It just looks very pretty, and it's a little sweeter. Just cut it in half, take off the skins off of your onion and slice it. Now onions cook, you know, fairly quickly. They cook a little bit longer than, say, the zucchini and the yellow squash, so we'll slice them a little bit thinner. Just slice through your onion. I don't know if you're used to working on a cutting board or not, but I tell you, I don't know how anybody cuts without a cutting board. I want to urge you to get a good cutting board and a good set of knives, and that's really the tools you need the most in cooking. Our grill pan is heating up. I've got my vegetable pan on the grill just to get hot. Let's put these onions in there. Open my bag here. I've got a pot over here on my grill has a little side burner. If you don't have a little side burner, you know, this is one of those things you could do, you know, in the kitchen, or you could really set, if you've got a fireproof pot, you could set it right on the grill, whichever you needed to do. Because I had some green onions left over from the bunch that I bought, we'll add a couple of these green onions to our mixture. Now remember, these cook very quickly, so we're just going to kind of do those in thirds because they cook really quick. So we'll save them. Cut off some of the green tops because they tend to just kind of burn. We'll just add those in there. Now, there's our vegetable mixture. All we do to marinate our vegetables is simply Italian dressing. That's all you need to do. Just get your favorite kind of Italian dressing, shake it up, and pour about half. This is a 16-ounce bottle. You need about half of it. Close your baggie, and that's it. Turn those vegetables over in that, and while that's marinating, we're going to skewer up our beef. We're just going to let that set for like 5 minutes. It just penetrates in there, and it's delicious. So let's just let that kind of set aside, and we'll get started on our beef kebabs. Now, I am going to use today, pardon me just a second, I'm going to use today some bamboo skewers. Got my words mixed up there. These are just the little wooden skewers that you can buy anywhere. It's very important, if you're not using the metal skewers, that you soak these in water for at least 30 minutes, and that way they become penetrated, you know, fully penetrated with the water, and they don't burn as quickly on the grill. So I've soaked these. They've actually soaked for about 45 minutes or so. We're going to take our kebabs here, our beef mixture. Let me grab my mushrooms. Forgot to chop my mushrooms. I bought just a package of just plain button mushrooms, and I'm just going to simply cut these in half. I have cleaned them ahead. I'm just going to cut these in half, just like that. And we're going to skewer these with our beef mixture. If you don't like mushrooms, you don't have to put the mushrooms in there. It's up to you. When you're cooking at home, that one's kind of little. We'll leave him whole. When you're cooking at home, you can customize it to what you and your family like. And that's all there is to those. Now, when you're working with beef kebabs, I'll give you a little hint. With round, these are round. If you'll use 2 of them and skewer your meat just like this and use 2 instead of 1, when you're cooking on the grill, if you just use 1, if you've never made shish kebabs before, the meat will spin on there. If you use 2 skewers, it gives it some stability. It's a little easier to turn, and the meat won't spin on you. Give it a little breathing room between the pieces. If you just stick it all real close together, your meat will steam instead of grilling, and you don't want that. So give yourself, a 1/4 of an inch or so between each piece, and just give yourself some room. And that's all there is to making shish kebabs. They're very, very easy to make. And just put that meat. Smells so good. I so wish you could be here with us to smell. And be careful, don't poke your fingers. And there you go. There's a little shish kebab. Now, like I said, I don't put my meat just right on top of my vegetables because, it steams. It doesn't grill. And this way, there's room around each piece for the heat to get to it. So we're just going to keep making up these shish kebabs. Let me make you up another one here. Use 2 of your skewers. If you've got, now in some stores, you can buy skewers, the metal skewers that are flat, and you just need 1. If you're using those nice flat skewers, you just need 1 because it doesn't turn, your meat won't turn on there. But this is a good trip. These little bamboo skewers you can get in any grocery store out there. And they're just inexpensive. I think a pack of like 50 of them is $1, something like that. It's just really not expensive at all. Your kids will love eating off of a skewer. I mean, it's just, that's adventure eating to them. And so this is a good thing to do with your family. And it cooks very quickly. It's very easy because we sliced our meat into thinner pieces. It will cook up very, very quickly. I'm just going to keep making the skewers. I got to take a quick break. When I come back, we're going to get these on the grill, get the vegetables on the grill, and make the couscous. I'll be right back with you in just a minute. Okay, now we got our kebabs just all fixed up here. Let's get them on the grill. You want to be careful. The bamboo will still burn, so it's very advisable to try to keep your skewers, as close to the edge as you can. You might have to do them in 2 batches, and that's okay. We did some with mushrooms and some without. Some people are mushroom lovers and some are not. So we just did them that way. And I'll tell you what I am going to do. My basket needs to go the other way, but that's okay. We'll manage. We'll just put these up here. They'll burn, but that's okay. The bamboo will burn, but it's no big deal. They smell good already. Just get them on your grill. I can put a couple right here because I'm going to put my vegetables in my pan here. Now, I've got my grill pan on there, my grilling basket rather. We're going to add our vegetables that we just simply put Italian dressing. Try not to pour the dressing in if you can, but you will get some. Hear that sizzle? Yum. Now, the reason that's flaming, obviously, is the dressing is falling down in there, but that's all right. It'll die down in just a second. Now, let's get our handy little tongs here. Turn them down just a little. Let's put some fresh cracked pepper on those. Watch your arms. My pepper mill, here we go. Let's add a little bit to our kebabs too while we're at it. Now, over here in this pan, I have 1 cup of chicken stock that I have brought to a simmer, and I'm going to add 1 cup of couscous. Now, couscous, if you've never ever cooked it, let me show you what it is. It is a little tiny, little small grain of pasta. It's just itty bitty, little teeny tiny little grains of pasta. Cooks in 5 minutes. All you have to do is bring your, I'm using chicken stock, but you could use water, to a boil, 1 cup to 1 cup, cover it, let it sit, it's done. 5 minutes, it's completely done. So let's add 1 cup of our couscous to our chicken stock. Stir it up. Turn the heat off. Cover it. I'm going to cover mine with some foil, and in 5 minutes we will have a delicious little side dish. Just cover it with your foil. Be careful, your pan will be hot. Get my little towel here. The wind is picking up on me. And in 5 minutes you have your side dish, and that is all there is to it. Okay, now our kebabs are on the grill, and we've just turned them, and you know, depending on how well you like your meat done, I like mine medium to medium, or maybe a little medium well, but they are delicious. Be careful when you turn, but you see how when you put the 2 skewers in there, that the meat doesn't turn and doesn't flip on you, and that way you can get, you know, it doesn't twist and turn like it can if you just have the 1 kebab. Our vegetables are grilling up. And I got to show you this couscous because it's done. Let me show you. You remember the 1 cup of the couscous that I used? Can you see in there? See how that just cooked up and it just fluffed up? And it's done. And it's 5 minutes. It's quick, it's easy, and it's very good. Let's add just a little teeny bit of salt. If you had a little grated Parmesan cheese, that would be delicious in this. But we don't have any out here, but you could add that to yours. Add a little bit of pepper, and I'm going to add just a touch of olive oil because I want the pasta grains to stay separate. So I'm going to add about a teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil, and our couscous is done. And I'm joined here today by a couple of our very dear friends. This is Millie and Cameron Davis. They're just some of our precious, precious friends, and they come up and they help us a lot on the station. Wave to everybody, guys. They come up, Millie helps me on the phones, and Cameron helps us on the cameras, and they're just a blessing to us. So there's our couscous. Let's get a couple of these wonderful little kebabs and just place them right on there. For those of us that like them a little less done. If you want them well done, you could leave them on there just, you know, as long as you wanted. Our vegetables are finished, and my foil just blew away. Our delicious grilled veggies. Let's get our plate over here and get our vegetables and just add them right there. This is a quick, easy summertime meal that you can cook completely outside on your grill. And you've got less mess, less muss. You just throw away the marinade bags, and there you go. And there's our meal. There's our kabobs, our couscous, and our grilled vegetables. And I'm going to taste it real quick. Let me grab a fork. I have one, and I don't, so I'll use a knife to get one off of there. And just take a knife. Now be careful with these. If you're using the metal skewers, remember they will be hot. So you don't want to use the metal skewers. If you're serving children, because that point is sharp, I would recommend going ahead and taking the meat off of the kabobs for your kids, because you don't want them to stick, their fingers, because they can be sharp. And there you go. There's our delicious, pardon my fingers, but I don't have a fork. Let's try it. So very, very good. You guys want to taste? I shouldn't do this on TV. Now I have a mouthful of food and I can't talk to you. But it's yummy. Pardon my mouth. It's delicious. It's healthy because you're using a leaner cut of meat and you're grilling it. You're not frying it in a bunch of hot oils and things like that. I hope that you'll try these recipes. Get out of your kitchen. Get outside with your family and grill up some kabobs today. I'm all out of time. Thank you for joining with me, and I'll see you next time on Everyday Manna.
Thank you for watching Everyday Manna with Lisa. This program is made possible by viewers like you. Your support is continually needed to keep Christian programming on the air. Please send your best financial gift to Living Faith Television in care of Everyday Manna, P.O. Box 1867, Abingdon, Virginia 24212.